hope you are enjoying these lessons so far, and especially in this section where we're talking about 3D animations in After Effects. Today I want to show you basically the basics of creating an animation, but basically creating an environment, and that's something that you'll be doing in After Effects is just creating environments, actually creating scenes. People actually create full animations using After Effects, and so this is a good example of that. So using our dog as our subject, I want to create a scene with this dog and his house. So I downloaded a few objects from online. We have this dog house, we have this grass, and we're going to be creating some new objects as well. So first, let's edit this doghouse because this will be kind of the basis of our animation. I'm going to put it below, but we're also going to be editing the 3D options as well. So I'm going to click that on. Go to the doghouse. I'm going to increase the size. So I'm just going to click and increase the size of this. It might get a little pixelated. Actually, I'm going to decrease the size. I'm going to show you a cool thing you can do because I don't want that taking up the entire frame. As you can see, if I was increasing it too much, it started to increase the entire frame. Now I'm going to create a new shape to kind of continue this grass along the whole way. So I'm going to use the pen tool. Fill, I'm going to use this eyedropper right here, click this grass color, and then I'm going to start a shape over here and just basically create a shape that continues this grass. And it's not perfect. There is a little bit of a line you can see right here, but it's really hard to see. And I'm just going to move it a little bit. And if I spend more time, I can, really get it to match perfectly. Let me just use the eyedropper to get the color right next to it. Oops, that is not what I want to do. Let me just brighten up this grass a little bit. And now that looks like a better match for this grass. So now we have this, dog house with a hill of grass. Now I'm going to put this grass at the bottom to give more texture. And I'm just going to duplicate this layer, move it over, and I'm going to put this green shape layer down below it. Duplicate this layer again, move it over. So now we have this kind of grass texture in this front. With our dog, actually with both these, all this grass, I'm going to bring up position. I'm going to move it closer to the camera, so at -100. And it's good to remember where that is, so -100. For this shape layer and the doghouse, I'm going to do +100. And as we see when we do that, it basically changes the position of these two. So we have to fix that and maybe increase the size as well. So scale, increase the scale, and then just move this around again, just like that. Now with our dog, we want him to be sitting in between, so his position is at 0, which is between what is now the doghouse and shape and the grass texture. So that's perfect. So we have our dog sitting on our grass between the front grass layer and the back layer. Now we want to create a sky. So let's create a new layer, new solid, and we'll just make it blue. Kind of a light blue sky color. Something like that. And we'll just put this behind. And I'm not going to make this 3D because if I make this 3D and I add some animations or add a camera, we're going to have to worry about the sky basically becoming too small or big. So for example, I'll show you what this would be like. So if we did animations, a rotation animation or a camera move, basically this sky wouldn't cover the entire composition. But if it's not in 3D, it automatically will cover the entire composition no matter what. Let's create a couple clouds. So layer new solid, do white, and then I'm just going to use the ellipse tool to create a cloud shape. So I'm going to do a couple masks within this shape, something like that. Then I'm going to select all the masks, press MM, increase the feathering to get this soft looking cloud. And then I'm going to put this below the shape layer, turn on 3D, and put this at, so we have our cloud here, so I'm going to put this about at, we'll just put this at 1,000. And maybe I will duplicate it, put another one over here at maybe 2,000. Yeah, that one will be 2,000. And say we want to add a bright sun, we can do that. So I'm going to do layer, new, solid, and then make this orange, orangey yellow, like this. And then I'm going to use this ellipse tool to create a circle. Then I'm going to use the pen tool to create some cool sun rays. So just I'm making the sun's rays like this. Make sure I close this mask like that. There we have a cool sun. And I'm going to make this 3D, put this below our white layer, our cloud layer. And all these layers you can rename, which would be helpful. So you can select a layer, press enter, cloud 1, cloud 2, etc. And I like keeping my layers in the order of 3D space. So for example, I like having my sun behind my clouds. So I want to make this at something like 2500. So it's behind everything. So now we have our sun in the sky, we have our dog, so this is a cool start of an animation. So let's do a little bit of animating just to show you what we can do. So our dog, we'll have him kind of walk across the screen, so we'll start over here, position, and I'll do set keyframes for Z rotation, and I'll press U to bring up just the position and Z rotation keyframes. The end of this 5 seconds we'll have Fido be over here, and then in between, and we'll set a keyframe for rotation as well right there, but in between we'll just kind of rotate him back and forth a little bit so that you can see him kind of bouncing along like so. So now let's render that out, see what that looks like. This is very basic, but you get the point of what you can do with After Effects. Maybe make this all a little bit faster. So if I select all and press Option while I click and drag, it basically moves all the keyframes in faster to make it faster. So there you have it. Move that to the start of the composition. And then now let's just animate our sun a little bit. So our sun will basically start here, and then the end point, put that at the start of the composition, that keyframe. The end point will be about here. Then let's go to the middle of this animation and we'll just move the sun up a little bit, something like that. And then we'll set a Z rotation as well, keyframe at the start, press U to bring up all the keyframes, and at the end we'll just have it rotate slightly. So it looks like the sun is turning. So let's see what that looks like. So there we have our dog coming in. And now let's just move this cloud slightly as well. So these two clouds, we'll select both, set keyframes for position, go ahead in the animation. This cloud will just move to the left. This cloud will move to the right. Something like that. And here we have a nice little animation of our dog on screen. So there you have it. Of course, you can add a lot more detail. You can add birds flying around, change the color of the sky. For example, we can add a ramp effect to the sky. So just search ramp, click and drag and drop it on this, and select two colors up here. So you have the start of the ramp. We'll select a light blue, maybe a little bit more sky blue color. The end we'll do a little bit darker blue, so it kind of looks a little bit more natural, something like that. You can add a ramp to the sun, or blur out the sun a little bit. Maybe we want to add a fast blur effect. Search fast blur, drag and drop it on, increase blurriness to maybe like 50, something like that. And now the sun has a little bit more texture to it. It looks a little bit more like how the sun would look in an animation like this. Cool, guys. I hope you're enjoying this lesson and learned a lot of what you can do with After Effects. There's so much that you can do. And this is just the beginning, but we've basically created this environment in 3D space, and you guys should be proud. So thank you for watching this lesson. If you have any questions about this lesson or any previous lessons, or if you have any comments or concerns, please let me know. I'm always trying to improve my classes, and if you guys give me feedback that will help me, I definitely want to hear it from you. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.